Good morning, you guys. Today I'm back with another video to talk about my craft workflow slash how I use my commonplace notebook because that's how I've been using craft. I briefly mentioned it in my last video, but I didn't really get into the specifics and examples of how I'm using it. So today I'll show you real life examples of how I've been using it. I'm going to show you screenshots, screen recordings, and real life projects I've been working on that I've been using craft for so that you don't just learn about the features, you learn about the possible workflow as well. So let's get into craft. But first, I'm going to do an introduction of craft. Craft is a note-taking app that's really simple. The UI reminds a lot of people of the iOS UI. It's really smooth and cohesive with the overall iOS ecosystem because it's built from the ground up to fit into the Apple ecosystem. In my perspective, I think it's kind of like Apple Notes, but better, and I'll talk about it later more. And I first downloaded Craft in 2019. I believe that's when they launched, and I just was captivated by the design overall. And then last year, I watched one of my favorite YouTubers, Hannah, and then she used Craft really nicely. She really inspired me to try using Craft again. And then I started using it as my commonplace book. And so I made a little reel about it. And then their company saw that I make videos about apps. And then they were like, oh, perfect. We could collab on it. So that's where this video came to be. But I already actually had the script before that meeting. So as you can see, this is Craft. I am in Craft right now. And the main thing that I use Craft for, as I said, is a commonplace notebook. And what is a commonplace notebook? A commonplace notebook is basically where you can put anything in. So to-do lists, little thoughts, sketches, drawings, whatever. You can put anything in it. It's kind of like a bullet journal, but yeah, it's basically a bullet journal. You can put anything in it. But I think the way bullet journals have been in the mainstream media, it's become kind of more packaged, and the need for it to be pretty has been emphasized a lot. So I feel like that's where I got tired of the concept of bullet journal. And then I was introduced to the concept of commonplace notebook, where you just put anything in it. And I was sold. I loved it. So here you can see my home. The main thing that I'm gonna talk about is the calendar, which is where I put all of my daily notes. This is a built-in feature, so you don't have to create a note every day. You just open it and they create it for you. And this is one daily note. This is actually the page, and then these are my to-dos, and I actually already made that, so let's do that. And I'm also filming the A-roll now, so let's do that. So you can see my events are right here because they have this integration where they can show your events and everything is in one place, but the daily page itself is this. And these are my to-dos, and that's pretty basic. We have our blocks. We can create more to-dos, and we can make a separator, and then we can type our journal. We can also insert whiteboards, photos, image from Unsplash. So this is basically where I put all of my daily tasks. If I go through my daily previous days with you, you will see that I have a lot of different stylings for different days because that's one of the good things about Craft. They have a built-in styling option that is really, really flexible. So you can choose different looks for different days. For this day, obviously, I chose pink, and this is a picture of my dog baby as the cover photo. And I have my notes. I'm following up with London Drugs, and I was afraid that once I submit the form, the text that I typed will be gone, so I pasted it in here. For to-dos, you can create any page. So actually anything you can create a page. Hello, you can say anything. And then this arrow over here, you can create a page, and there it becomes a subpage. It's just like today, I went to PriceSmart to buy some groceries. PriceSmart, and then I have my entire list. And here you can see I have some that I crossed out because they did not have it in stock, so I just crossed it out. So I know that I didn't just forget to buy it. I looked for it, and they weren't there. I made a list in my daily notes. And then within that page, I also made another list. So those are the to-dos. And in my daily notes, I mainly just use it for my to-do list because I forget things. And in the iOS version, the to-dos show on your widget. So you're reminded of your tasks all the time. And this one is the market that we went to. So it was really important that I have a good to-do list, to bring list. So I made it bigger. And these are all my to bring lists. And let me show you some of my older ones where I did journal. and doodles, because I didn't do doodles for a really long time because I'm so busy, but I used to do them all the time. I have these little doodles, detailed journals, I have videos, I have these silly doodles. Here's the really nice thing about having a commonplace notebook. You really get no pressure at all to keep it pretty all the time. You pretty much just dump anything you want in there. Sometimes to do apps, I feel the need to write even like complete sentences or like not write abbreviations. But with this, I don't really feel the need to do anything. I'm just gonna be like, buy cabbage, and that will be it. But now you're thinking, this is kind of just like Apple Notes. How is this any different from Apple Notes? I'm so glad you asked. Let's pull out an example of the script for this video, actually. This is a doc of this video idea script. And when you press here, you can actually look at all the analytics. And if you're a tiny kind of nerd like me, you love seeing analytics. And you might ask, oh, what do I need this for? I don't know, for fun. But maybe if you're like writing a script or something, or like a blog, it would be useful for you to include some words and characters. And as you can see here, I also have a bunch of links. So this is where I think Craft did a better job than Apple Notes. In Apple Notes, you can also link to different pages, but it doesn't work as nice as Craft. And in March 15th, I actually made this page where I pasted a bunch of images for my mood board for my nails. You can see how I really use this for everything. I just pick and choose the photos, delete the ones I don't want, and then save these photos and then send it to my nail artist, which I have over here. She's really talented. Please go follow her. If you know me, you know that to get to this point is pretty standard. For me, I have high standards for apps, right? So if you get here, you're like an okay app to me. But what makes this app so good is that it has a task hub. As I mentioned, it's new in 3.0, so it's fairly new, but it's really, really freaking good. So let's go into the task hub. It's called tasks. And here you can see every single page that has a to-do block in it, which are a lot. So these are the inbox tasks where you can just add it wherever, and they will not belong to a single doc. And we have some pinned docs. We have some goals for 2025. We have our markets. And then yesterday we didn't finish all of our to-dos, and we have to-dos tomorrow. And then we have to-dos today. And this is how you can see the attention to detail really comes to life. And here you can actually see the progress of the to-dos of that specific page, and it looks really nice. And same as here, remember how I had a to-do list for today? You see it's green. If I uncheck one of these, I go back, I see it's yellow, and there's a little chart that shows that it's not complete. And of course, as I said, you can also set reminders. I did set a reminder to cook kimchi fried rice today, but I already completed it, so I can't really show you, but I guess I'll show you again. I set a reminder for today, and it will show up and it will pop up on my phone. Pretty straightforward. And it also shows on my widget all of my to-do tasks due. I already made my kimchi fried rice, so I'm gonna check that off. And then let's get into one of the more complicated ideas. I've been using this for my personal work thing. And one of my assignments, I have to create a magazine. So I did have a whiteboard over here where I brainstormed the ideas. I have some what's and who's, I have some brand feels, I have some keywords and nouns, and then these are all photos I pasted from Pinterest to create a kind of inspiration mood for the branding, and then a final solidified mood board. And this was really fun because I love an infinite canvas. I've always loved one, and when I used Freeform, I really liked it. If you didn't know, Freeform is an Apple whiteboard, but the problem with Freeform is that typing is also a nightmare, so I didn't use it. But for this one, you have these pretty standard post-its, and when I'm done with this project, I can go straight back into my page and I can type on it. So it's all in one place. I don't have to go to the Notes app. I don't have to go to my Notion, whatever. It's all in one place, and I can look at it at the same time. And how I do this is on my desktop, I open this and have a big picture. I have it all the way zoomed out as the big picture. And then on my desk, I have my iPad where I can make annotations and notes. And below that, of course, are some drawings. This is a sketching sketch. This is a sketch feature that I did on iPad. It's not available on Mac because you can't use the Apple Pencil on Mac, but these are all sketches that I did myself. Another project that I've been doing, this is a self-introduction animation. I'll leave a link. It's unlisted, but it's a school project. It's unlisted, but I'll leave a link. So I have a whiteboard again for my storyboard. I drew this in Procreate, but I'm doing notes on here because I didn't leave enough space for the notes. And then I have my script, and this is one of the designs for if you want to embed a page. I really love all these options. Look at this. If you have pictures, they will show here. I chose a book because it's a script. I'm going to apply it. And then I just have my storyboard in here, and then some font choices and some video editing tutorials because it was a video class and it was really stressful for us. This is a really good example of when I regularly did my doodles every day. I will basically do a header of a drawing every single day, and then I would have my to-dos over here, and then I would do more doodles, write more stuff, and then type some stuff. And the reason why I have a mix of typing and writing is because when you type, it's easier to look up what you write. So I type some things that I know I might want to search, and then I write some things that I'm just vibing for. This is my little inspiration board for my sticker club, which did expire. It was the March sticker club, but April sticker club is running. So if you want to join, go to my Patreon to join my sticker club. And that's basically how I've been using Craft. It's been a really, really, really busy week for us. I have our little shelf at Dream Collective. We went to multiple markets. We have multiple school projects. My parents are visiting this month, and we're entering practicum in the coming months, so we're prepping our portfolio, interviews, everything. So I've got a lot of things on my shoulder, and on top of that I have YouTube as well, which I also really want to focus on. So it's been a really, really busy life for me, but luckily I do have this really reliable system that I've been using. Craft as my commonplace notebook, my project management app, which is Notion, Capacities as my second brain, but haven't had time to work on my second brain for a hot minute. And to close this video, I just want to do a huge shout out to the creators of Craft because I've talked to them, one of them personally. I know how much because I've talked to them personally, I know how much love and care they truly put into this app. And as a designer who is really passionate about UI and UX, it's really heartwarming to see the level of detail that they put into the single app. And if you ever try using this app, you will notice that all the details that you experience in this app is designed and intentional. So like checking off a to-do has a little haptic that makes you feel really joyful that you completed a task, and it celebrates with you. And all these styling options make sure that none of your days are boring and it matches your mood. And of course, the way they designed this app is just so effortless on the user's part that there's no learning curve, so you can jump straight into using this. And that's why I'm still actually paying for Craft myself. And Craft did offer me a family plan, but I'm paying for set app, so that's already included. So I'm still paying for Craft myself, and I am so happy that I found this app in 2025 because all the updates that they did to this app really shines, and I can really tell that they put so much effort into this app. Thank you so much, Craft, for working with me and giving me this opportunity to give you a spotlight because I've been meaning to tell people about you, and I'm so glad I finally got to. It's been a really, really busy time, so I spent like a month on this video. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll be back with some other workflow app lifestyle kind of video, probably, but maybe a vlog first. I don't know. See you guys soon.